here in America and in small towns, to Jason Aldean's point in his song, his controversial song, in small towns and across America, things seem to, morale, culture seems to be collapsing. The progressive left tells us not to believe what we see with our eyes, not to believe what for hundreds of thousands of years, or at least thousands of years as Christians, we've known to be true. And they want us to believe things that you and I know are false, but yet they want us to believe them. That's the transgender phenomenon, that somehow men can click their heels together, make a wish, and somehow become a woman. It just can't happen. But yet they want us to believe that. We're seeing this phenomenon largely in the people who control the few people, and they're largely actually upper income white liberals. This is not, and of course, students whose minds full of mush can be easily manipulated, gullible students. But the people pushing this really, are the very few white liberals who sit in seats of power in academia, in media, in Hollywood, in some of our political classes, and increasingly so, disturbingly so, in boardrooms, and now even more disturbingly so on some courts, Supreme Court justices and whatnot. But still, it's angry moms, liberal moms, Ivy League students who largely make up this transgender class, and in astonishing numbers. I mean, God didn't get that much wrong. You can't believe that, and I know you don't. But again, they believe it, or at least they want to believe it. They've convinced themselves they want to believe it, and they will bully you and me if they don't. What's really going on, and the truth is that we are exposing our children to a radical leftist gender ideology, Marxist ideology, and they're pushing it. And it's child abuse. It's child abuse when it's being pushed upon our children, especially as part, not just in society, but especially as part of an organized and planned high school curriculum and agenda. We must stop this emotional manipulation and genital mutilation of our children. It has to stop, and it's going to stop. Chris, the billboard guy, says it has to stop because medicine, science, facts, truth are on our side. But it's just amazing how many people can get caught up in untruths. It's amazing. And of course, we all know that the solution is greater parental involvement in education. That's the solution, that oversight, that input to school committees who should listen to them. They don't have to do everything they say, but they should at least consider the opinions of these parents. Education should never be divisive to a community. This is the Jason Aldean song. Why are we coming in with these radical concepts and dividing our communities? Government and politics is divisive enough, but why do we need to have it in our schools? We don't. If we stick to the basic traditional core topics, we won't have this division anymore in our schools, and kids won't be emotionally manipulated and subject to materials that are unhealthy, both for them physically and emotionally. We want our kids to be part of a school system where they learn. We don't want them to be part of some corrupt and wild social experiment, some perverted social experiment. It's deranged to think that we should put our children to that. But yet, woke progressives and education officials and so many others have made kids collateral damage in their culture war.